Hey, what's going on, people? Yes, first, I got to give my special shout out to Nikki. Before I get into this, now the picture you see above, that's a picture, if you look at it, of a man who was clowning the Zuccotti. Well, I guess you could. I don't know. A lot. I think they don't really want to be called protesters. But anyway, I was down there yesterday. This was yesterday morning before the protest got on the way. I had stuff to do later on in the day, so I couldn't be out there in the afternoon. But I still support them. But yeah, my man, if you see him, he's clowning the man with the briefcase. Now, the man with the briefcase is a sculpture that's been in that park forever. In fact, I think that's actually a remake of the man because I believe the September 11th attacks, the original one got damaged. So I don't know whether that's one that was restored or that's just brand new. In fact, if we that's the edge of the park right there, close to the World Trade Center. The actual man with the briefcase used to be further into the park, like towards the middle of the park. But anyway, the point of this is that the man with the briefcase, to me, always reps because the man with the briefcase has been there for like years, and like I can't remember the man with the briefcase not being in that park. He really represented a Wall Streeter who was getting his stuff in check and in order before he went up to a meeting or something like that. I believe the name of this coach is called Double Check. So Wall Street to double check before he goes inside to make a deal. For those of you who look in the background, you see that black building. That used to be the Merrill Lynch building, which was a big brokerage house, which I believe is now owned by Bank of America. So all of this stuff is interconnected because all of these companies I'm naming had to do with the mortgage crisis, and these are the ones that got the big bailouts and took out bailout money, and they gave themselves bonuses and went on big vacations. Now, I've talked a lot. I haven't talked about the day before Friday was supposed to be the showdown. That's supposed to be the big showdown where they were going to move the park, the um, the Occupy Wall Street people out of the park, so they could, in theory, clean it. When it was just a ploy to get them out of the park and then tell them they can't come back in the park with their tents and all that. And they were smart enough to realize that's all it was. They were just trying to fake them out, get them out of the park, and they were realizing there was going to be a confrontation. And at the last minute, they canceled the whole thing. They said we'll leave the park people in there. We're not going to try to get them out, under the guise of trying to clean the park, because it was just BS game. And Bloomberg said that it was some local politicians who called the owners of the park, and the owners of the park got scared. I'm like, come on now, Bloomberg is the biggest local politician. I mean, he's the mayor of New York City. He's like the biggest local politician. I believe Bloomberg realized he was getting ready to have a real bad moment because it was going to be. They said it was going to be peaceful. The cops were going to be peaceful, but it was going to be violent because the cops go goon squad mode whenever they go into this squad mode when it has to deal with protesters and all of that, and it would have like looked ugly. In fact, yesterday there's a video out of a lady who they grabbed the lady. Now this is what how you know what was gonna happen. They was like, what are you doing? Take your hands off me! You're violating my rights. When the cops start rolling on people who talk like that, they just look like a bunch of goons. They just look like they went goon squad on her. She was trying to talk to them, saying, "Look, I have an account at Citibank. You can't do this to me." And they just snatched her up, man, and threw her up against the wall. And she was like, "You, shame on you! You made a big mistake." I was just like, I swear, I swear, people just like. Now if that was a black or Hispanic people, they honestly took out the knives to just beat us. For some reason, when cops do that to us, we look guilty. But when they do that to other white people, especially intelligent white people, oh, they just look like the goon squad. So, I was just like, man, there they cops go, make themselves look bad and making the mayor look bad at that. But yeah, I support these people right here. I mean, a lot of people might say this is I mean, I kind of get that vibe from actually, I think most people that this is like a white movement and this isn't really has to do with blacks and Latinos, but I'm just like, hey, this is really, a lot of people are sleeping on this. They think it's people just protesting and stuff, but they're going to, I believe, in my opinion, actually affect policy. And they definitely, this group right here is going to vote. There's no question about that. And they're going to push a whole lot of other people out to vote. And the thing is, the people that are going to hurt the most are the Republicans, but and they might help the Democrats, but the fact is they're not like Obama lovers. They're just like, look, they know Obama, like appointed Wall Street guys, to his cabinet, and he's like, and they're like, hey, you help these people out, and plus Obama's been doing, I don't know whether he's just a bad negotiator or he's just like leans conservative or what, but he's almost like he's a Republican himself sometimes. But I think that they can really put a fire under, put a lot of political pressure on people, even if they're not in that park now. Because realistically, winter time's coming. Temperatures sooner or later going to go down to 30s or 40s, and they're going to have to, they don't want to freeze there. But to me, that park is just a symbolic right now. I think that they could continue their movement online. They don't actually have to hold that park in order to get their message to come across. These are intelligent kids. They know how to use Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. They know how to do all of that, so they can keep their movement going online without actually having to be in that park. And even though I was there early in the morning, I had other stuff to do during the day. But it was funny because it was almost from I'd say from 54th Street, maybe from 57th Street on down, from like the afternoon to almost to the evening, you couldn't get much done anyway because it was gridlocked because the protests, at least on the west side of Manhattan, had the street almost like in shutdown. You couldn't drive. I mean, you could drive, but you couldn't get anywhere. I mean, they had traffic shut down, and I'm just like, hey, I was like, hey, this is good. Even though it was like stopping people from doing what they had to do, I knew it was for a good cause. So that's just my experience with Occupy Wall Street people. I like the way they organize. And I know a lot of people probably were wondering what am I talking about this park and like Merrill Lynch and then Bank of America, but it's all interconnected. And to me they chose their targets. In fact, they even had the wherewithal to go. What's his name? Koch, David Koch. But anyway, the Koch brothers or the Koch brothers, however they pronounce their name. I just call them Koch because that we had a mayor called Edward Koch, and that's how the spelling is the same. But anyway, these guys back the Tea Party and they're out to like get President Obama, and they actually had the wherewithal to know where he lived at and marched in front of his building. That was earlier during the week, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm just too bad they didn't really catch him outside the building and just like mock him and stuff like that because But anyway, they went to Rupert Murdoch's home. To me, this movement right here, it has a little juice, right? These kids are smart, and hey, I support them. What can I tell you? I just support them. I admire what they're doing, and to be honest with you, I'm surprised this hasn't happened earlier. I mean, when the government gave bailout money to these banks, then you saw pictures of them. That they get their bonuses and they're going on lavish vacations and stuff like that. Come on, man, for real, they're taking taxpayer money and doing that. And the news just showed it, and it was like, hey, whatever. And then there was like nothing really happened. I'm just like, damn. So they got it like that. They taking taxpayer money. They saving their companies. They're issuing themselves bonuses, even though they've all suffered. And then they just say, oh well, we have to do that to maintain the town. I'm like, for real? I mean, to me, this happened. I mean, I'm glad it's happening now, but I think a lot of people, I think that's probably the impetus behind this happening right now. Because people are just like, how can they keep doing this? And it's just like it's all right. Just like they're taking money and just walking away, just like, hey, the hell with everybody else, we doing okay. But anyway, that's my view on the situation. As for the situation was how, us blacks and Latinos feel about this, because a lot of people see this as a white movement. They see this as, I mean, some people have even said, oh, these are the rich people's kids. These are the Wall Streeters' kids that are doing this, and it doesn't affect us. Well, actually, a lot of stuff that has to do politically does affect us. For some reason, blacks and Latinos, and especially blacks, we're caught up in this, I don't know, if we smoke weed all day, we sell drugs, what else? We watch BET, play ball, listen to Lil Wayne. That's just for not all of us, but for some reason that's predominant culture with us. As long as we can do that, we're all right. And the rest of the stuff that goes on in the world doesn't matter. We're all right. If we're in the ghetto, even if we're not in the ghetto, as long as we do those things, we'll be all right, and we'll deal with all the other stuff that comes with that. I don't know how we got caught up in that mindset of, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of us justify it by saying, "Oh, the white man is keeping us down. The white man is keeping us down." But I don't know. I don't. I mean, I'm a black man. I don't even understand. My I don't understand my own culture a lot of times, or how we got to the point where we're at now. But what's going on here? A lot of people I think in my culture, they just look at this as some other world. Like, this is like the white world. This is not really affecting the black world. So I don't know. But anyway, leave your comments and let me know what you think about this. Thanks for listening. Peace.